You're at a high school football game. You're sitting with your family, your friends, your peers. You're looking at the people on the field play. You see the running back carry the ball on the outside of the toss, and then boom, you see him get hit by an opposing linebacker. You're hearing oohs and ahs outside of your environment. You're hearing roars and cheers and people jumping on the field. That's the excitement of a football game. Today, I'm going to tell you the experience I had in my first football game as a senior. I've been playing football for 4 years, since freshman year at Tampa Capital High School. I played center, and center is the person who snaps the ball to the quarterback starting to play. People usually overlook this position, but this is one of the most important positions on the field because they have to call the line calls, they have to identify the linebacker on the opposite side of the team, and they have to snap the ball at the same time. This is what I was. But the thing that was different was I was not only playing center, I was actually playing on the other side of the ball too on defense for the first time. Before my first game as a senior lineman, I was in the locker room with my other teammates. And before the game happened, our coach comes out, prays, peps us up, and tells us to focus on one thing: teamwork. Teamwork is one of the most important things in the game of football. And our team had to realize that. Our team had to realize that we had to work as a unit to get our goals achieved. Our team had to realize that we had to fight with aggression, but we also had to fight with control. Now, before we went out in the locker room, we had to make sure our minds were set. Football is not only physical, but it's mental. And if you don't have the mental stability, you won't survive in this game. Now, let's get on the kickoff. After our stretches, the kickoff is one of the most intense plays in the game because it allows 11 men in the field to run down the field and make the tackle. This is where you leave your mark. This is where you leave your mark on how you're going to play throughout the whole game. This is where you set the mood of how you're going to play the whole game. One of the goals of football is playing as a unit. Sure, there's individualism, but football is a team sport. Everybody needs to do their part and do their assignment in order for plays to work, in order for plays to be executed. And for a plays to get executed, you have to do it aggressive. You have to do it at 110%. And if you make a mistake, you have to make your mistake at 110%, or you're going to get caught on film standing around and you're going to get insulted by your coach of lack of effort. Lack of effort is important because you can be at the wrong place at the wrong time on the field and get cracked or blindsided by opposing part of the team any second. You always have to be aware of your surroundings. Now, we got past the kickoff, let's talk about offense. Offense is important for me because the play doesn't start without me snapping the ball. My mental stability has to be calm, but also has to be aggressive because I'm focusing on the guy in front of me. I have to block the guy in front of me so he hasn't hit my quarterback because my quarterback makes the passes to receivers, thus helping us score. Now, offense is cool and all, but I was so used to it over the years. But there's a change. My coach decided to put me on defense. I was on the sideline, and my coach says, "Hey, Mike, you're big, you're strong, you've been working in practice. Why don't you try this out? Why don't you go out in the game?" And I thought, maybe there's something different. Maybe it's something I like. I've been wanting to play defense for years, but my coach never put me in. So, first play of the game on defense, my coach puts me in. I have a goal, I have an ambition, I have an aggression to come after the guy on the opposite side of the ball, holding the ball, and making the tackle for my team. My first tackle was one of the most amazing experiences of my life because I realized that all my peers, all my family, even my opposing team's peers and family were watching me do my work, were watching me execute plays aggressively. Me executing plays aggressively was recorded and put in my film. When I put that on film, it allows college coaches to come and see me. So me making my first tackle in a football game was an amazing moment, and it was many moments to come. I got used to playing defense throughout the game. I got used to my assignments getting set by linebackers on what gap I should hit, which hole should I hit. And I started playing with not only conservative tactics, but I also started playing aggressively at the same time, learning what my coaches taught me in practice, learning what my peers taught me in practice. I used what I learned in practice and put it in the game, and it all went so well. Now that I talked about defense, let's talk about scoring. Let's talk about the celebrations. Let's talk about the hype. The first time our team scored, our whole team was hyped. Our whole team was excited. There was a aggressive, tenacious vibe. There was a pep in our step. We were walking with swag. We were walking with confidence, like nobody could stop us. When you have that mindset as a unit, nobody can beat you. And I seen that forehand. I seen that with my own eyes myself. My tackle, my effort, my hard work in the game was seen by my peers and my other teammates, and they started working hard, and they started fighting, and they started playing harder, and they started recognizing their assignments, and then we started playing as a unit. When we play as a unit, we always win. After the game, after we won our game, I ended the game with 6 tackles, 2 sacks, and 1 tackles for loss. And we scored 28 points that game. The best thing about football, even though we won, is sportsmanship. You always play hard against the other team. Yeah, you play to win. You don't play to lose. But you always end the game with respect. You always end the game on how you was raised, on how your coach has developed your team's character and morale. The reason why football is the greatest sport in the world is because, in my opinion, it allowed me to not only be aggressive, to not only be in sync with the people I play with, but to also show class and sportsmanship to the other men. It allowed me to grow as a man, allowed me to build my character and boost my role. Thank you everybody for listening to my speech, and that's how I feel about the game of football.